guys, Doug Massey here, and today I'm going to go over something a little bit different. We're going to talk about 4 things that you're going to need to do for your final expense and or life insurance remote sales success. And just to be clear, you're going, okay, Doug, you talk about a lot of things a lot of time. We're not going to talk about leads. We're not going to talk about insurance carriers. But what we are going to talk about is something that's more internal and designed to either A, give you some success, or B, help you to take your game to that next level. In other words, you're already seeing the success. You just want to be more successful. That's really what you're looking for. And before we get started, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're putting out new insurance sales content and final expense sales training videos just like this all the time. And check this out, guys. If you'd like a copy of the Guarantees of Whole Life, this thing is really awesome. I use this in every face-to-face presentation, and the material that's talked about inside the Guarantees of Whole Life, the information, we use it when we do telesales. Just stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to show you how to get this dude for yourself. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is committing to your insurance sales business. I really feel like most people get in this industry and they kind of stick their toe in it, and maybe they'll stick a few toes in it, and that's why the failure rate is so ridiculous in insurance sales and final expense and or life insurance sales. The success rate is just really low because I feel like most people just don't want to go all in. Let me share a story. This is an interesting conversation, and this is like a point that I'm going to want to make with you guys. I think that people find rationale, they make excuses not to do certain things even though they know they really need it. Here, perfect example. Recently I spoke with a single gentleman who had recently been divorced, and now he's got a young child that he has to take care of part of the time, right? You know, they share custody. He shares custody with his wife. And so when I spoke with this gentleman, he's like, look, I can't work full time. I've got a child. I'm taking care of this child. I'm helping to raise this child as a single man, and I need to figure out a way to work where I don't have to put in full-time hours. I just can't commit like that. So, you know, I was like, oh, okay, I understand. I feel bad for your situation. But the truth was, what I wanted to say to this gentleman was, well, let me see if I got this straight. Here's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing you're too lazy to do the work that you need to do to make sure this kid has a really good future. You're not willing, that's 1. 2, you're not willing to do the sacrifice that you have to do for your family now so that you don't have to sacrifice later. Think about it. And in my mind, of course, I'm thinking 3, no wonder you're divorced. You're a lazy butthead. You don't want to do the right thing. You probably didn't do the right thing when your wife was there, when it was easier to actually do the right thing. And that's why she divorced you. That's why she moved on. Guys, and that's just maybe the way I think because of my personality, because of my work ethic, because of who I am, because of where I came from to get to where I'm at today. The moral of the story is you have to commit. By committing to your business, the idea is you're committing to your family to give them a better life. That's what this is about. That's what we do. We bust our butt. We give up sacrifice after sacrifice early in the career so that one day we never have to sacrifice ever again. And this is why 90% of the insurance agents that get licensed will never earn $100,000 a year. That really is the bottom line. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, let's talk about the floor. So you got to commit to your business. Now you got to get on the floor. Whoa, what am I talking about? I'm not talking about little babies crawling around the floor. What kind of am? So to me, the floor is the bare minimum. That's my frame. It's the bare minimum. So you've got to be able to do the bare minimum, which is generally in our industry or any industry. If you want to have success, you know, working full time, you got to work. So let's put that out there. I hope that guy's listening. Let's put that there, right? You got to actually be able to work. But to me, the floor is getting to the point to where you've practiced doing whatever it is that you're doing with us selling insurance remotely. You've practiced so much that you sound smooth. You sound professional. You even sound confident, even though maybe you're not. okay? So what doesn't work when you're a new agent is just fumbling and bumbling your way to success. Because what happens when you're making errors, when you don't sound smooth, professional, and confident, people aren't gonna buy from you. I mean, would you buy from someone who sounds insecure, not sure of what they're doing, especially, someone who just doesn't seem 100% right? Or would you most likely buy from someone who is just super smooth, professional, confident, sounds great, knows their business, knows their industry, and makes you feel that, hey, wow, they obviously do. Look at all this stuff I'm getting from this person. Guys, that's who you wanna be. And before we go on, guys, please leave a comment below. Are you agreeing with me? Are you thinking, no, Doug, wait a minute. This guy has got to take care of his family first, and then he can figure out how to make a living, or whatever. Guys, leave a comment below. Hey, if you think I'm FOS, just say, Doug, you're wrong. You're being a jerk. You're being too hard on this guy. You don't know his situation. I don't, but I'm just telling you that's what goes through my mind. But yeah, leave a comment, guys. Please leave a comment below. All right, number 3, using energy, excitement, and enthusiasm. So this kind of goes back to the floor. I really feel like a big fail, one of the things that I notice when newer agents or even people that have tell me, yeah, I've been doing sales for years, they come on board with us and I start listening to their recordings. A lot of times I notice this kind of monotone thing that goes on. We recently had a young lady who had sold insurance in the past join us, and one of the things I noticed about her recordings is she kind of sounds really monotone, like there's no ups and downs. There's no energy and excitement throughout the whole presentation. None of that's happening. There's points where she goes up a little bit, but it's just not much. To me, this is a huge fail. You want to sell over the phone, right? Because you're using your voice to convey a feeling, interest, to build rapport. Monotone will ruin you. Sit up in your chair like I am right now. Smile while you're speaking. And I promise your energy is going to be contagious and it's going to make your life so much easier. It's going to help your client to help you to sell them. That's really what it does. Guys, you got to use your voice effectively. Understand what tonality is, learn what it is, read sales books on, there's a lot of different books. I can name a bunch. I'm not going to do that. You do your own research. But there's books on persuasion, using your voice to sell, mastering the art of influence, and inadvertently success. Number 4, my big recommendation, one of the most important things you can do is listen to yourself. Listen to some of your recordings. Believe it or not, before I put this video that we're filming out, I'm actually going to watch it and listen to it. The reason being, I'm saying stuff that maybe I don't realize I'm saying in a way that maybe I don't realize I'm saying it. So I want to learn from that so that when I go to make my next video, I'm actually better. Believe it or not, I do that even, check this out. So at our agency, we do these Zoom meetings, these Zoom trainings. I do the same thing. We do one every Monday and every Thursday. I watch and listen to myself and what I'm doing so that on the next one, I'm actually a little bit better. Guys, you have to be doing this. If you're not listening to yourself, let me just say this, if you are currently in a position where you're selling or trying to sell and you're a couple weeks into it and you haven't listened to multiple recordings of your presentation, man, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're just not doing the work. You've got to ask yourself, how's my tonality? How am I dealing with the client when they interrupt me? Am I saying or because that needs to be taken completely out of your vocabulary. And what new agents do, a lot of times, like when I first started doing telesales, I was saying and like so many times, like every minute. It was just insane. So you got to work on it. How's your deflecting? Are you deflecting? When the client in the beginning of the presentation interrupts you or says, oh, wait, it's a bad time. Can we do this later? Are you saying, you know what, Janet, I'm going to give you the short version. We're going to make it real quick and then going right back to the presentation. Are you deflecting correctly? How does it sound? Is it lagging like the way I just did it? I know that kind of lagged, right? Or is it super smooth? Work on it, guys. Do the work to fix the things that don't sound super amazing so that you sound super amazing. And ask yourself, when you're listening, would I buy from this guy? Would I buy from this gal? You're going to answer your own question right there. Guys, real quick. When I first listened to myself, my manager, so we're going back 15 years. I remember I was doing mortgage protection sales. My manager told me to pull out a recording and just record yourself making a presentation. I wouldn't do it. I was scared to do it, right, with the client. I didn't want to, embarrass myself or actually cost myself a sale because I'm pulling out a recorder, right? It's kind of invasive, but eventually I did. When I did it, within 7 days of listening to that recording, I went from being one of the worst agents in that agency, which it was 3 different offices. They had 3 offices. I was one of the worst. I went from being one of the worst to being like a top 3 agent, and it always stayed that way. From that point on, I was always a top producer with that agency. Just because I listened to myself and said, holy cow, I can't believe I said it that way or said that. Wow, now I understand why people aren't buying. And then everything changed. My energy was low. I stepped it up. Boom. I wasn't being really clear the way I was pronouncing certain aspects of the presentation. Boom. I changed that. I wasn't being enthusiastic enough. I was being kind of monotone. Boom. I changed that. Easy peasy. Easiest thing I ever did and the best thing I ever did was listen to one of my recordings and actually learn from it, make adjustments, and get better immediately. Guys, hopefully you got something out of this video. If you'd like a copy of the guarantees of whole life insurance that I mentioned earlier at the beginning, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. If you'd like more information on working with us on our remote final expense sales platform where you can actually get, as an independent agent, 20 to 30 appointments every single day, just shoot me an email at that same address. As always, guys, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now, either get out there or get on that headset. But no matter what you do, make sure that you do something good for someone else today. Happy hunting.